unknowingly have racial prejudices.
How did the rise of the internet play a part in your daily life?
It came about late, so I wasn't really, Google wasn't a thing that you could use on a daily basis until I was out of college, probably. I still did research papers in the library using books when I was in college, mostly. Some searching and things like that, but it was not what it is today, like this all-inclusive, like instantaneous kind of thing. So it definitely changed stuff, but I think I'm a little bit too old to really have it in my DNA, right? So I kind of feel like I got one foot in the old kind of analog world and one foot in the digital world. And I like being there because it means I can easily step out of the social media sort of thing and not really worry if I'm not posting on Facebook or whatever. And I kind of like being there. So it made things easier in a certain respect. But it's also kind of just perpetuated the same old stuff. I was telling somebody recently, it's like we just have more channels now. And now we all have a television in our pocket. But most of the time we're still watching reruns of old shows that happened a year ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And those shows are just reruns of shows that happened in the 70s and whatever. I don't think that the technology or the internet has really become what it's supposed to be yet. We're still trying to figure out. It's still a preteen waiting to grow up. When it reaches adolescence, real adolescence or adulthood, watch out. Because you'll probably be using it and not even know it. Like it'll just be around you all the time, everywhere, looking at you and looking at everything and analyzing everything, thinking for itself. It'll be great.
All right. Do you think it brings the world closer or farther apart? And do you think this is beneficial or harmful?
It brings things that were normally separated by geography or culture, it brings them together. And it takes things that were normally united by culture and geography and it pushes them apart. So you can watch a video of something that's happening all the way around the world while sitting across from me right now, and I could be watching another video from all the way across the world, and we could be thinking about those things that are happening on the other side of the planet, but you and I are not talking to each other sitting across the table. So it's brought things in and it's pushed things away. It's done both, and I don't see any way that that's going to stop happening. That's just going to keep happening, and we're going to push back against it, and it'll push back harder, and push back against it, and push back harder. Television did the same thing, right? So it's not like the internet is something new. It's just more powerful, and it doesn't have a broadcast schedule, so it stays on all the time.
Who or what do you think is the biggest threat to America?